Hey, hey, hey. Ah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everybody's safe and is able to keep a roof over their head. Um, yeah, so the family's all home. Well, not all the family. I got a I got a pretty large family, but most of the family's home. Painkiller and a whiskey. But no, it's good. It's just I get hit with pain and then boom. So yeah, I have one son who's it was just before. Oh, when was it? Oh, she was about 4 months pregnant. She received a shot, and she stubbed her toe, hurt herself at her office job on the escalator, and received a. The union wouldn't let her go back to work without getting a tetanus shot, right? So the thimerosal and tetanus shot, therefore, went in. My son wasn't able to repel it while he was in his mother's womb, and therefore it caused some issues. So he's not even 5 feet tall. He's a hell of a guy, though, and he's blind completely. I think he can tell day and night, pretty much. But that's about it. Loves to sing, autistic, and loves to play the piano. I told him, I said, "Well, I'm doing this recording, you know, Christmas songs only." And so he's singing and playing anything else but, of course, right? Because it's my son. What can I do about that? So Christmas Eve here, and I figured I'd just my other son there, he's doing these double shifts down at the mill. Uh, you should see these heat exchangers down at the pulp mill. They're huge, and they're down to one. They have three, only one working. If it goes down, that place loses billions. It's screwed. They're screwed. So they've been doing a lot of overtime, and they're going to punch her through Christmas to get this other heat exchanger up. Wife, my beautiful wife, she's in the other room. I think she's making us some kind of cool snacks for this evening. I think I'll put the projector on, find us some Christmas music. I don't know if you saw that new Santa. Uh, with Mel Gibson. I enjoyed it. Some people didn't, but I did. I liked it. But the other new Mel Gibson movie was I thought it was excellent. Now I forget the whole name of it. I just remember it was really, really good. I like Mel, and he's not one of those adrenochrome pedophile motherfuckers that seem to own and operate, portion of the electorate down south. Yeah, so I just figured, hey, why not? Everybody's just chilling. I'm useless. I can't really do anything. I can't even bend over. I can put a piece of wood in the fire. That's about it. So now that I have this painkiller, I feel a little bit better too. I use them very, very, all when I got that morphine button, when you have your IV and stuff, I'll use the shit out of that. And they monitor it. It's not like you can just hit it and they have me on the lowest dose every 5 minutes or whatever. So, that's the way I could, in past times, you get out of bed as soon as you can open your eyes, as soon as you can, as soon as you're able, you get the hell out of bed. You grab that dolly, that IV thing, your R2D2, and you just go for it. Just get walking. Just get walking. Go, 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 go. Because as soon as they take that morphine away, you're down for at least a couple of days. And then, and if you never got out of bed the whole time, then you're just a sad sack of shit. And that's not my wish, So I'm pretty excited about the operation. This will be the first time in years Like, even though I hurt and everything, I feel better. I feel better than I did. You know, I waited years for this. Years. Man, years. This is going to be great. All right. Enough about that. Mark, eh? He got a Christmas gift from one of Santa's elves in a uniform at the door. So hey, let's just bounce around on the Mark's little vid he took, and I'll do my best to look at it from a common law perspective, right? From what I know, what I witnessed to be true, what I've seen, and we'll go from there. All right, let's bring up Mark's stuff. We open? Oh yeah. Where have I seen that before? Oh. At least this young man was polite. You know. And I mean, Mark's pretty polite. He's not, aggressive with these folks or anything. So they have no reason to get weird with him or nothing. Okay, well, whatever. Do it. Just do it. Do it.
Yeah. Just sit down and you'll...
Hey, Jared, I'm just recording right now.
So,
That's okay
this is
by
a
you?
ticket for the protest that happened on Spadina Crescent in the 500 block. So I'll go through the whole thing with you, okay?
Sure.
Okay, so your name's at the top here. Your SG...
I'm going to be your buddy and go through the whole thing with you like he's doing him a favor. I bet you that's in their job description.
guy number here, your PIC numbers here, your address.
Okay, now, this man here, polite young man with a gun, that's all fine and dandy. He's very quick and he wants to get on with what he, to follow his orders and do what his job description is. But the only issue I have with this is that if you wish to approach me, if you wish to talk to me, if you're a peace officer or any kind of public servant, if you are paid by the public and you wish to intercourse with your fellow man, then I require your name. Okay? Now with a man like this, I say, well, hang on a second, like, who are you? Well, I'm Officer so-and-so. Okay, Officer so-and-so. Is Officer your first name or is that a title? I would ask that question. Ask the questions. I'm going to teach you guys about asking questions and not making definite answers. Right? And it's a very lost start, and to be able to aggressively defend yourself, or maybe not aggressively, but in Wing Chun, the style that I practice, okay, your best defense is an offense. And so my offense would be to take your orders and fulfill your orders. You say, well, how can that be an offense? Because I'm going to bill you, dude. Right? Slavery is outlawed in all its forms on this land. And so if any public servant does wish to intercourse with I wish and require to know who you are. Okay, I already see your title. Your title's all over your uniform. So yeah, so and I like to play it a little bit. You can chuckle a little bit, and I've done this with folks that act as coppers lots, and they have no problem giving me their first name. Most of them, it's no big deal, and I'll just write down refused given name. Refuse to share given name, right? And now that I know your name, okay, Officer Bob Smith, where are you from? Where are you dispatched out of? Like, who's your boss? Which office are you out of? Where can I find you if I need to, say, come down to your office and share something with you? What if I forgot to tell you something? What if you left your gun in my mailbox and I had to deliver it back to you? What if, right? Always what if. So, I mean, anything could happen. Maybe I feel like we have a decent rapport and I'd like to tell you something. Who knows? Maybe I feel like ratting myself out and giving you a full statement and confession that I'm a loser and a wrongdoer, and I was acting like the person that you presume me to be at the time. Who knows? But here's the thing. every man, every woman has a right to know who wishes to intercourse with you. Simple as that. Now, I was telling you guys, like, I don't go out without my the only document I carry, say 65% of the time. I'm a guy. I screw up and forget about things. But the only document I really carry, for the most part, on a regular basis that I worry about and make sure that I have on hand, is my statement of live birth, okay, or registration of live birth. It's a certified government document that says, that reads that there was a man or woman, bore on such and such land. And if you notice, they're all provincial. They're not Canadian, okay? They're provincial, okay? Completely different state jurisdiction, the whole bit. I realize that, our public servants have been manipulating most everything to turn all the provinces into a homogenized national New World Order type of deal. But for now, every state, every province is sovereign, and there's over certain things, and that's births and deaths. Number one, medical. And number two, travel. Land, access to land. Minerals, natural resources, so on and so forth. The feds really don't have a jurisdiction. Now, you enter jurisdiction through provincial, say through Superior, Supreme, or Queen's Bench, if you committed an indictable offense, or if you're alleged to have committed an indictable offense. All right, and that happens through the three jurisdictions that I just mentioned to you. All right. If it's a provincial offense, it's probably a private offense through a magistrate's court, like provincial court, which is what took over for the magistrates' courts, at least in BC. Read up on your own province, right? What else? So yeah, very first thing I'd say, whoa, who are you? Okay, and now, okay, I'm Officer Smith. Okay, well, is Officer your first name? Is that the name your mother gave you, or, are you Bob Smith, Dave Smith? I just wish to know, if he asks you why do you want to know? I said, well, I wish to know who wants to intercourse with me, right? You can laugh about this all you want. I remember I had to write a statement one time for an administrative tribunal. And I did. I wrote it down. This dude, whatever his name was, I had his name. I put it on paper, and this guy just arbitrarily arrested me, and then he asked me to empty my pockets, and I take all their orders. So you give me an order. If a copper gives me an order, I fulfill their order, right, to a point, unless it's unlawful. I'm not going to harm anybody just because somebody ordered me. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. And so, when I was writing it down, I said, yeah, so the man did reach into my privates and expose my privates to the public, because everything in my pockets is private, and those are my privates. And I did write that down, and I did bring that to an administrative tribunal when I was at one time a couple of years ago. So you got to think outside the box. I mean, open your mind. Open your mind. It took me forever to open my mind. My mind was clouded. My buddy used to yell at me all the time about this shit. But it is what it is. And I am who I am and where I'm at this point. So, so the badge number's good. The name's good. But which station house does he operate out of? Okay? And that's very important, because every station house has a boss. He has a boss over that station house. And so, like, if there is any discrepancy when you do write in your fair warning, or whichever kind of document you wish to serve upon the man or send to the man, whether it's through his boss or whichever, then you know where to go, rather than being in the dark. Any cop ever wants to talk to you, first, last name, what station house, badge number. And you have a right to know this. You're the one with the right to know this. You're the private person. And private person is not a swear word, like people think they are. But you're the private person. You're the private one. You're the private man. You're the private woman. Okay, how about you're just a man or woman and you wish to be let alone, okay? With your property. My privacy is my property. That is actually more the way it should be said. Al, bad man, bad guy. But, all right, so let's go on with this. But you have a right. The man, I don't know if a person, a legal person has the right. And there's difference. There are legal persons and there are persons that aren't legal persons, right? And you have maybe both, and most of us don't. I don't have a legal person, all right? So let's carry on.
Postal code, date of birth. Okay, so this is the offense date.
Looks
was
cold there.
on the 19th of December 2020 at Saskatoon at 2 p.m.
Oh, that's something else. Notice how he said at Saskatoon? You notice how I'm always saying at court, okay? Earlier, I think in another vid there, I said, I was talking about the folks protesting the lack of freedoms thereof, and I said in Saskatoon. I noticed that right away when I said it, but I kept on going. But notice how he said at Saskatoon, because if you're in something, you're an integral part of that. And that means if you were to pull out for any reason out of that, it would cease to exist. And this is why I don't go into court arbitrarily. Right? It has to be a court that I wish to be in. And I always state that I am at court. And I do that. Hey, George, I'm doing a thing here, buddy. What's with the siren?
Blood checker, X-ray.
Oh, it's a blood checker X-ray, is it? Okay, can you take the sounds in the other room, just so I can do my recording? Please and thank you. What are you looking for, tape? Oh, Jordan. Yeah. Hey, go play us some Christmas music on your piano. Come on, you cheapo. The guy plays Christmas music all year long, drives his mother crazy, and now it's Christmas time, and you're not playing Christmas music.
Headphones only.
Yeah, okay, headphones only. Fine, hog it to yourself. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, at Saskatoon, and there's a reason he said that. Well, you can guarantee it.
Okay, this is under Section 61 of the Public Health Act of 1994, and the offense is written out here for you. So. Did fail to comply with paragraph 1C of the public health order.
Now this is going to be interesting. 1C of the public health order. I can't wait to read that. Order. And I can't wait to see who signed off on it. Because if there is an order, you follow that order. You make sure you bill them and let them know that you're going to follow the order to the best of your ability. And let's see if the order even applies to you. It might apply to you, but it may not apply to I. So we'll see about that. There are so many ways, under, over, around, or through, guys. There are so many ways to deal with a society that can only maintain a position that is stuck in a box. And this is why it's so hard at court. This is why these guys here, don't understand the difference between legal and lawful, a lot of them. And so they can only see within the box, within the narrative. And if you sideswipe them as somebody who reserved all their rights, they're not sure what to do with that, so they just go ahead with it anyways and interfere with your right. I don't use the word violate rights because nobody stuck a dick in my rights. Something you can investigate. But anyways, let's go on.
Provincial order by Dr. Shabab, I don't know how to say her name exactly.
Yep.
Dated on December 14th, 2020, by public and private outdoor gatherings are permitted to up to 10 persons. And the location was 500 block of Spadina Crescent East, okay?
Now, was it a protest for freedom? And gathering, is there a preamble to this order that explains, that defines gathering? Okay? Now, because it's ing, it's something in the future, and a lot of times they'll write these things in a future tense. It's like you having a no trespassing sign on your lawn. It says no trespassing, and I come on your lawn. And you say, hey man, can't you read the sign? I say, yeah, I did read the sign, and sometime in the future I won't trespass upon your lawn. If you wish to notify the public through a notice of a sign, then put do not trespass. Simple. No trespassing is lazy, and it's not English. It's stupid. I'm sure a lawyer wrote that up, designed that one just so he could make more work for himself. Okay, go on.
So, I believe this is not your first ticket with this. So the payment option isn't available. So they're going to do a straight court, which
that.
would be at the traffic court, which is situated at 110, 410, 22nd Street East in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, on the 23rd.
So traffic court. How does traffic court have the jurisdiction of a public health order? That is something worth very interesting. I mean, if I was Mark, Mark's not, he doesn't come across as, into really caring about legal stuff and lawful stuff for the most part, except for, he knows somebody's does infringe or does, trespass or does interfere with his right to, breathe clean air without a mask, or, use a public platform to express himself freely, which is what I believe these folks were doing. And so even though there's only 200 of them and not 2,000 or 20,000 like BLM, no, they need to respect it, because the rule of law applies to everybody equally. If the rule of law doesn't apply to everybody equally, there is no rule of law. Okay, then all of a sudden now you're in the rule of man. Now, who is this woman, this public health woman, and what is the mandate of her office? Now, that's something else that somebody should be checking out. So checking out the mandate of her office, checking out the legal jurisdiction of the health order, and checking out the legal jurisdiction of traffic court. And why is traffic court? Now, I'll tell you right now, they can't see a man at traffic court. I'll tell you right now, they can't. I don't know if I was telling you guys about this young man just south of me here, but he was at court, and they were trying to get him, no insurance and parking and all kinds of stuff, right? Stuff that any person would probably do a week in jail and thousands of dollars in fines. Well, he went to court, and he said, and all he said the whole time he was at court is, "I'm here, to face my accuser here today. I'm here to settle this matter in honor with my accuser. Is my accuser here today?" Because if you settle a matter, and I've said this before, if there's a matter settled, the court has no jurisdiction. If there's no controversy, there's no jurisdiction. Right? So, now I'm starting to think about private contracts and that between your fellow man, but there's no jurisdiction either unless both sides consent, which at family court is very private. And if both sides don't consent, they have no jurisdiction. And yes, go into court, call your kid property. Right? Make sure you put your notice in before you enter the court. All right? Property, give it back. Property, give it back. Who are you? Do you have a claim to my property? Do you have a claim? Do you have a higher claim? I am the author of said property. Give it back. And that's all you need to keep saying to these folks. And anytime they wish to have you there, say, yeah, sure, I'm just going to need a stipend. I'm going to need some payment, I got a life, and send them a notice. Whoever has care and control over your property against your wish, start sending them a bill. The man or the woman. Allow the office that they work under and the title they hide behind to come in as a co-defendant. They're the ones with the checkbook, anyways. So I'm really curious. So I think tomorrow, in the morning, before we go and do whatever we wish on our Christmas day, and if you believe that somebody has authority over you, dictatorship over you, then they do, right? It's what you believe. What do you believe? So yeah, poor young man there. It's just my grandparents live 2 blocks from me, and I can't even go see them. I said, well, if that's what you believe, I guess that's true. I says, personally, if it was my grandparents 2 blocks from me, I believe other. I can easily walk over there. I have legs that work, arms that work. I even have shoes. I know how to walk over there. I know how to get there. I know how to go see my grandparents. Yes. And who has the right to interfere with the family? Are you part of this family? Do you have authority over this family? Are you the author of this family? Do you have a higher claim to this family than I do? Well, get up there under oath or affirmation and state your claim for the record. What do you mean you're not going to stand up there? Oh, so you're just a poser. You're a fraud. Do you wish to defraud me from my family? Is that what your wish is? Anyways, must be the painkiller kicking it. I get so slow sometimes. But anyway, let's go on.
3rd day of March 2021 at 9 a.m. And that's to answer to the above charge and further dealt with according to law.
Yep.
Okay. So Constable Mitchell is the officer that actually wrote up this ticket, and she wrote it up on the 22nd of December 2020, and that's her signature and badge number.
So there again, is that Sarah Mitchell, Shirley Mitchell? If that's her ticket, then how come she's not here to present it to me? Right? And like I was talking before, he's going to get a copy of the ticket, and under the under the Bill of Exchange Act, that's fraud. Right? You can't do that. You have to give them the original. And I know guys have gone to court with this stuff before. I've seen stuff thrown out. I've seen people do it all wrong. I'm not a newbie at this stuff. So, but we'll go on with this.
Number on there, okay? So you're very welcome to give the police station a call and ask to speak with Constable Mitchell if you like, if you have any questions about it.
There's no need.
And if you like, you're also very welcome to contest it in court, okay?
Which I will be doing.
Fair enough?
Well, if he's got a summons, if it's not a payable ticket and he has a summons, he has to go to court to settle the matter. Oh, okay, and this is why I don't know if Friesen would see this. I don't care if he cares to watch my shit or if he would care to watch my stuff. But something I'm going to... Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Let me move this thing. Okay. Something that... Look, when you go into these provincial courthouses, traffic courthouses, okay? So traffic court's usually held at a provincial courthouse, okay? When you go into these things and you go up to the court clerk's counter, all right? There's a clerk of the court and court clerks. One's in charge. And anyways, when you're at the counter, a lot of times there's just on the end of the counter is like a lot of times they'll have a glass, plexiglass and a little window. And a lot of times they send you over to that, and you still think you're at the clerk's counter, but no, you have a JP behind this, and they're holding court, and they do this. There's a very sly trick that they do, and they do this, and they try to get you to plea right there in the hallway at this thing, and sometimes they don't even. Sometimes you go sit in the courtroom. Okay, you got this court date and that. You're sitting in the courtroom, and your name is not being called. Now, if you get stuck in that situation where you're sitting in a courtroom and your name's not being called and you know you're at the right courthouse and you're at the right courtroom to which was proposed to you, anytime you get some time, like in between folks coming up, and sometimes a judge or a justice will say, well, is there any other issues here? You stand up. I've done it. It takes balls, boy. But I've done it a number of times at court, and they always give you the, you know, the fireballs from their eyes and lightning bolts from their ass look, right? Until you come, like, because, you know, these guys got to deal with so many frickin' retards, you know. There's so many losers that come in and just want to puke shit, you know. And these guys, these poor guys, these guys are worth paying probably, you know, what they make. I don't know about these so-called civil servant health people that make $400,000. Are you kidding me? Go fuck yourself. And why are we even paying for some kind of extra civil service? We have a health minister, okay, and we have all kinds of doctors of all calibers and universities and professors of medicine in the province, and we can't hold a meeting with them all to discuss and delegate to each one. Okay, look, here's your job. You know, you go grow the virus in a petri dish. You go do this. You go do that. You know, and let's round table next week and see what we come up with. You have to pay. You got all these people on our public payroll. And you got to pay some asshole an extra $400,000 a year, $300,000 a year, $200,000 a year, for our money, to have them act like some kind of fucking dictator. I don't think so. You're the elected official. We're the ones that put you in. You're the ones that make legislation. So make some legislation saying, hey, we got people on staff in the whole province. We got a couple of universities in this province. I'm not sure about the Maritimes, but how many universities do we have in each western province? Well, okay, maybe Manitoba has 1.5. I'm not sure, that poor place. But, you know, Saskatchewan has 2. You know, Alberta has 2 or 3. Like, well, 2, you know, main ones. You know, I know they got 3. You know, BC has 2 main ones, you know, UVic, UBC, right? You know, you've C and University of Edmonton. I mean, like, so you saying, why do we got to pay these extra money? Why isn't that $400,000 going to a grant for a local company to make masks for our hospital, to make PPE for our hospital? Why is there not a local manufacturer in every province making PPE for the hospital? Are we not always 85% full and always busy and always using this stuff and disposing this stuff? There doesn't need to be one in China for us. That's disgusting. I mean, that's completely disgusting. Are we that retarded? Are we that stupid? Are we all just a bunch of idiots at this point? You know, we didn't get we were smarter 100 years ago than we are today. What the is wrong with us? So yeah, why isn't there a producer? One in Saskatchewan, one in Alberta. How about one for Alberta, Saskatchewan, one for BC, one for, you know, say Manitoba, or maybe one for Manitoba, Saskatchewan, one for Alberta, one for BC, depending on population and what's needed. But you can't tell me through all these, well, maybe the old folks home, they don't use it because all I've seen is manslaughter by way of public servants. So far for 9 months, 10 months, 11 months? Shit, what's going on here? That's what I see. That's what I believe. Manslaughter is going on here. The destruction of people's livelihoods, the destruction from public servants. So the guys that follow orders with guns to come beat you, shoot you, tase you, because you want to play hockey, because you wish to skate on the outdoor rink. You know, because you do need and have the right to earn a livelihood. They have no right to interfere with your right to earn a living, man. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Okay, not you people, but you people. Oh, Don, make room for me. I'm going to come sit in the easy chair beside you. Oh yeah, you can't fire me. You didn't hire me. All right, so getting back on the jurisdiction that he's going in, and this is one of the tricks that they do. They will shuffle you over to the end of that counter. There will be a JP on the counter, not a clerk, like you're thinking. They'll ask you how you plea, right? And they're holding court, okay? So you need to get savvy on this shit. Now Mark's probably just getting the lawyer. I think he sent the tickets into Rebel, so they're going to get him a lawyer. But like guys like me, I will get a lawyer, but I'll use him as co-counsel, so I can write out my paperwork and have him file it. Now try and find a lawyer that will do that. That's like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Difficult. It is really, really difficult, right? But if for the most part, depending on what it is, if it's business, I get a lawyer, and of course I work with my lawyer, and I don't just give him full, carte blanche rule over anything I'm doing. But if it's dealing with the public servant, it's dealing with the government, one of your leaders, no, co-counsel is about as best as I pretty much need for that kind of stuff. Now I don't know if the common law guys, I got to try and search them out. They said their website was coming out, this week, Wednesday or something. I'm just going to try and search a few guys out. I mean, I'm down for 2 months, but I am working on common law trusts, because I will be doing common law trusts for a number of folks. They're not like statutory trusts. They're private trusts. They're closer to an ecclesiastical trust than they are anything else. But if you want to know how the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all those guys operate, they're all common law trusts, man. Yeah. It's been going on for a long time. So anyways, just working out and being able to solidify those kinds of things for folks. Set up a common law trust, deposit your person within the common law trust. Like if you're the grantor. If I'm the grantor of a common law trust, then I can put whatever I have access to, a right to operate within said trust. So if it's the the birth certificate, then the birth certificate can go into that trust, and that trust can open up a business trust, and then you can run under your business trust, right? Which is 9-digit number, and so on and so forth. But there is nobody, anything private. If you and I have a private contract, there is no government that has the right to interfere with our contract. It's private. It's between us, you and I only. Simple as that. First one to blink breaks a contract. So the first one to go crying to mommy and daddy, mommy and daddy in the black robe. Well, it's in the contract. You lose. So there again, if this man wishes to break the contract, it's at his own peril. Yeah, but I'm not interested in bringing my shit before a public forum. Or at a public forum. I sure hope it's a public forum. At a public courthouse. Okay, so that was quite the ramble. So jurisdiction. So what do we got here? Okay, so I'm going to check out the public health order. And I'm going to check out the jurisdiction. Now, there's something I will tell you. Of traffic court. That's... You'd think it would be a provincial court, Traffic court's a private court. It's not even a court. It's a tribunal, right? You have to be acting as a driver to go into traffic court. So I'm just not. It's just, that's interesting. Okay, so public health order, traffic court. And what was the other thing? There was a third thing here. Somebody's yelling at me right now. It was this. Anyways, I'm just going to check out that, and then I'll come back to you guys and what I think about that shit. Yeah, that's quite weird. Remember, and all you savvy, wonderful common law dudes, are out there preaching the common law word, I like to call the ancient common law, don't forget that if you can appeal a court decision, you weren't in a common law court. All right? This is the way it works. So, there is no appeal. Now you can have a common law court trial by magistrate or common law court trial by jury. You can go either way. Okay. Let's get on with this. What else was happening here? Let's see.
So I'll give you a copy of it. And I'll also give you an envelope too. Temper. All right. Any questions for me at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You have a good day, okay?
See you later.
Take care.
Okay, so also I'd find out who's prosecuting the case. Now a lot of times, traffic court, provincial court, even federal court, another statutory court. But a lot of times they'll hire some law firm and some lawyer to come act as Crown. Oh, I almost had it on the tip of my head there about the Crown thing. Yeah. Something I was going to mention earlier when I got in the rant. But anyways, okay. Find out who the Crown is. Definitely find out who the Crown is. I would. I can only attest to what I would do, what I see to be true, what I believe to be true, what I witnessed, what I have witnessed to. And I never go to court without a witness. And actually, I'd like to have 3 in the background, all with clipboards and paper. 3 different parts of the court, and each one can watch a man or a woman who's acting as and write down whatever's interesting about what they said, what they did, or their physical actions towards me. I mean, I had one guy was like 6'7", man. He's acting as a prosecutor. He's trying to serve me in court, which is against their own rules, but of course they can break their rules because they made their fucking rules, right? He's trying to serve me in court, and I'm like, hey, dude, just get away from me. And he's like stomping, and he's jumping up and down, he's spitting out of his mouth. I'm just backing up, like, hey, dude. So the judge asked me to go to the other part of the courtroom. I said, is that an order? He says, yes, it's an order. Okay, I fulfill your order. Right? Take orders. You're a free man, free woman in the free world. Without you being in the free world doesn't exist. Come home. Come back. We got children, grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren we got to watch out for. What are they going to do? Live like China? Live like those poor Chinese folks under the CCP tyranny fucking dictatorship from hell?
Morons.
Yeah, morons. So anyways, all right. Yeah, so I would hand deliver with at least 2 witnesses a notice to the prosecutor that's prosecuting the case. I mean, I've delivered notices to prosecutors and stood in hallways, like in stairwells, writing back and forth to a prosecutor just before Supreme Court action that was taken on, negotiating with the dude. Right? So don't be a one-track mind. I feel sorry for that guy. I'm glad he's doing it. The one guy, it's, great. It's awesome that you're getting this shit because we all need to. But at the same time, don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. Stay open-minded. I'm not saying be double-minded. I'm just saying stay open-minded. If I see a benefit in the person that's not going to cause me any harm, loss, or injury that I'm not willing to endure, then I'll take that benefit. And if I take that benefit and I find out it does cost me harm, loss, and injury I'm not willing to endure, then I rescind from my position there because it's a benefit. I am the beneficiary of this whole thing. This is why I don't worry too much about de facto governments. All right. I think I'm done with this. And yeah, I gotta check that out. Saskatoon. I seem to get up at like 3:30 in the morning these days. I like getting up at 5. You know, having a good coffee and stuff before I take off to whatever day I'm going to have. But I don't get days anymore. I get this now. Actually, I'm being forced into learning more computer stuff that I don't really wish to learn, but I have to learn. So, I mean, just doing the GoFundMe thing was, that was a thing, and I do wish to set it up so that it looks like an interesting program or whatever you guys call it. And it looks like I could set things up so that I could put stuff up for my Patreon members. And also, being able to actually write me, like if you wish to contact me, because I don't always get to, well, mind you, I'm usually working, but I don't always get to comments and stuff that are put on the YouTube, and I apologize for that, but that's just the way it is. But if I focus, okay, I'm going to have this, and these guys are trying to get my attention, and I know they're serious because they donated $1, whatever. Then I can go and give you some attention, and and helping folks out helps me out too. I learned so much more. I do wish to write a notice. There was that woman from her name escapes me right now, but the woman from Ireland that did write the notice, or letter or whatever she called the document. That about the whole thing, about these injections, about the fluid, about everything. It was very long. It was small letters and very long. And you got to remember when people on the other side read your stuff, just being somebody who's cordial, just somebody with manners, it's to me it seems proper to put your documents in few, concise, to the point expression as possible without sounding derogatory or insulting or whatever, and to get the message across. Because I'll tell you, when a guy in a black robe gets a pile of crap like this, a small print, he ain't reading it, man. What those guys do is they read briefs. They're stuck reading all this crap all day long. So they read briefs, right? Commentaries and stuff. So, keep it short, keep it simple. And, you keep it short and simple, and you don't template, and it comes from you. It comes from inside of you. It's a part of you. That two-dimensional piece of paper and ink is an extension of you.
Jordan?
Hey, Jordan. And so you're not easily to forget it. You're not sitting there trying to memorize some kind of Miranda rights or constitutional, charter of human discord. It's like, that's all their nonsense, okay? And it's supposed to show the legal society on how they are to act towards us. Because that person that they interact with at the time in public or in private may not be the person they're looking for. That may just be a man or a woman that has access to the person, that has the benefit of, through a government document, to operate as that person as a benefit if they so wish. And a lot of people just can't get that out of their heads. Now, my daughter, she went and got she's a nurse, and she got the Vaseline, man, so whatever. I wish she would have studied it first. I talked to her on a Friday. She was booked in for a Saturday. She didn't talk to me all week. I said, look, man, what the hell is going on over here? She gets back. Oh, yeah, I took it. I studied it. You studied it. Yeah, what? In what? I talked to you Friday afternoon, and you were going in less than 24 hours to get the shot, and you studied all that in 24 hours. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But whatever. She's a grown woman. She's my oldest, so... she's a grown woman. She's a free woman in the free world on a free land, and she makes her own decisions. But I'm not happy about it. I'll tell you that much. I have a son on the coast that I don't know. I don't know if he'll get sucked into it too. Whatever. They have over the counter cheap meds that are proven to work, and they've been using them. They've been peer reviewed and everything else. This stuff here is all experimental. Or else I have a rock around eye. Anyways, I'm out. I hope at least I'm being of some kind of help, or to anybody with my stuff. So, cheers. Merry Christmas.